Imagine standing in your living room on a Saturday afternoon. You are surrounded by cardboard boxes, styrofoam peanuts, and a confusing instruction manual that has no words, only pictures. You've been twisting a tiny hex key for 3 hours. Your back hurts. Your fingers are sore. You are frustrated. Yet, when you finally flip that table upright and place it in the corner, you feel a surge of overwhelming pride. You look at that crooked, slightly wobbly table and you think it is the most beautiful piece of furniture in the world. This is not just a feeling, it is a psychological phenomenon that generates billions of dollars in revenue every single year. It is the secret weapon behind some of the most successful brands in history. Today on Strategy Decoded, we are breaking down the IKEA effect. To understand why we love the things we suffer for, we have to travel back in time. Long before Swedish furniture took over the world, there was a crisis in the American kitchen. The year is 1950. The company is General Mills. They had just invented something revolutionary, an instant cake mix. It was a powder in a box. The instructions were incredibly simple. Just add water, mix, bake. It was a technological marvel. It was supposed to save time. It was supposed to make life easier for housewives across America. General Mills expected the product to fly off the shelves. But then, something strange happened. Nobody bought it. The sales were terrible. The executives were confused. The product tasted good. It was cheap. It was convenient. So why did the American consumer reject it? They brought in a consumer psychologist named Ernest Dichter. He dug deep into their subconscious minds, and he found the problem. The cake mix was too easy. It was so simple that the customers felt guilty. When they served the cake to their families, they felt like they hadn't really done anything. The process required zero effort, so the result held zero emotional value. Dichter gave General Mills a strange piece of advice. He told them to remove the powdered eggs from the mix. He told them to change the recipe so that the customer had to add a fresh egg themselves. It seems like a tiny change. It actually made the product less convenient, but it changed everything. Now the customer had to crack an egg. They had to whisk it in. That simple act of breaking a shell and mixing it into the batter transformed the experience. It was no longer just a pre-made product. It was baking. The sales skyrocketed. By adding a barrier to entry, by asking the customer to work just a little bit harder, General Mills saved the product. Fast forward to the modern era. Researchers at Harvard Business School decided to test this theory in a laboratory. They called it the IKEA Effect. They gathered a group of participants and gave them a task. They had to build origami frogs and cranes. Now keep in mind, these people were not origami experts. They were just regular people. They folded the paper. They struggled with the creases. The final results were, objectively speaking, quite ugly. But then the researchers asked the builders a question. How much money would you pay to keep this origami frog? The builders looked at their crumpled creations. They valued them highly. In fact, they valued their ugly frogs just as much as beautiful origami made by professional experts. But here is the kicker. When the researchers showed these ugly frogs to a separate group of people, those people said they were worthless. This reveals a fundamental truth about human psychology. We are biased. We are incredibly biased toward our own effort. When we put labor into something, our brain plays a trick on us. It is called cognitive dissonance. Here is how it works inside your head. You see yourself as a smart, rational person. If you spend 3 hours building a table or folding a paper frog, your brain needs to justify that time. If the result is ugly, you're worthless. That means you wasted your time. And your brain hates admitting that it wasted time. So to resolve the tension, your brain inflates the value of the object. This is the psychological engine that powers IKEA. Think about their business model. They do not assemble the furniture. They sell you the parts. They outsource the labor to you. And you pay them for the privilege. From a logical economic standpoint, it makes no sense. You are doing the work, so you should pay less. However, once you have built that bookshelf, you have a relationship with it. It is not just a bookshelf anymore. It is your bookshelf. Look at the company Build-A-Bear Workshop. Families visit a toy workshop and pay a premium price to fill the plush bears themselves. They put a little heart inside it, they dress it. Involving children in the activity creates a deep and lasting emotional bond. Look at the meal kit industry. Companies like HelloFresh or Blue Apron. You still have to chop. You still have to cook. But because they did the shopping, you feel relief while still getting the pride of being a chef. This is a powerful tool, but there is a dark side.
The IKEA effect can be dangerous. It creates a blind spot in our judgment. This is the sunk cost fallacy.
Imagine a manager. They spend months coding a new feature, they lose sleep over it. When they launch it, the customers hate it. But the manager cannot let go. They see a masterpiece. They keep pouring money into a failing project because they built it. To be a great strategist, you must be aware of this bias. You have to ask, if I hadn't built this, would I still think it is good? So, how do you use this power responsibly? First, let your customers participate. Customization is key. When Nike allows you to design your sneakers, you are not just buying shoes, you are buying your design. Give your audience a role. Give them the tools, not just the solution. Second, in your own life, understand that effort generates meaning. We live in a world of instant gratification. It is easy, but it is also empty. If you feel bored, try doing it the hard way. Build the table. Bake the cake from scratch. Write the code by hand. The struggle is not an obstacle. The struggle is the source of the value. You are not just building a table. You are building value. You are building pride. We decode the strategies behind the brands you know. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching and start building.